This is the Red Alert Show with me, Josh Aberton, Andy Simcox, Alan Smith and Craig Wood, the usuals. We're going to react to last night's 3-0 win against Shrewsbury and the biggest surprise this season so far. We got a penalty at home and we scored it more than anything else, which is better than last one we had. And then we're also going to preview Saturday's game against Fleetwood Town. So, Andy, biggest talking point probably of the season so far is we got a penalty. And
well, it's funny you should say that. Where I'm sat, when he gave penalty, when everybody got over the shock, as everybody got over the shock, we were all thinking, well, who's going to take it? Because we'd no idea, obviously, we'd no idea who our penalty taker is, because it were Adam Phillips that took the one last year that missed and then put the rebound in. And he weren't on the pitch. Nobody had any idea who were going to take it. I thought Smithy were going to run out at crowd and he were going to take it.
Oh, I'm not sure. I've seen a Smithy penalty in Pontian before.
Oh, don't start on Smithy. Don't start on
Two-ender. I've only got one leg, so it's a two-ender.
If I'm bottom corner, though, still held in it.
It'd be a volley ender up at top at Pontian.
It was worth waiting 592 days for that one, wasn't it, lads?
It just shows you, doesn't it?
It wasn't even a penalty. I was sat at Pontian. He didn't pull his arm out. It was side on him.
That was
in my honest opinion, I think we finally got a decision that we shouldn't have got. But I think we're owed a few other years.
We're owed another 18 yet.
That's it exactly. We'll take it.
One thing I will say about us getting a penalty, when we did, relatively early on, it opened the game up, because then it couldn't be that Shrewsbury, as might have happened. Obviously, we don't know because we got a penalty. They might have sat back and we've had trouble sometimes breaking clubs down that have been playing in front of them, because we've not had anybody really that drives at somebody at great pace. Although our two wing backs, can do that. So it opened the game up, and that were a good thing. I thought the second goal were a thing of beauty, absolute thing of beauty, as well as the third goal. The second goal, I mean, MDG, he made one minor mistake all match. Right then, rectified it straight away and played the most exquisite Bobby Moore-esque pass down the wing for Devante, who shrugged off somebody who were going to take him out. I think it was Dunkley, could have taken him out, but couldn't because he'd already been booked. So scampered off down there. And our Nobby Styles got into the box like he did. Because he run half length of field to get there and slotted it in. What a brilliant cross. Brilliant cross from Devante. Weren't in front of him, weren't behind. Just perfect. And in he runs. There you go. Have that. Make it 2-0. So that were excellent, and that put the cat among the pigeons. Obviously, the second half they came out a little bit and had a flurry. And I thought, if we score a third goal, then it'll put it to bed. And despite their efforts, because we dominated the first half, the third goal, lovely pass from Dodgson through to leave Devante free. And there's been a lot of people having a rattle about Max Watters. But what a combination between them two for that goal. Pass it to Max, puts him through, not too far from him, not behind him, not anything, just perfect to run onto and slip it past the goalkeeper. Absolutely mad. Really, really fluid goal. It was lovely to watch. So I'm really, really chuffed with him. The downside for me, the real downside, was I'm not really sure why he did, but Callum Styles got booked. So he's, from what I understand it, he's going to be suspended for this Saturday against Fleetwood. So that's a bit of a shame, but we've found our own version of Bobby Moore. I'm telling you, absolutely superb for a number of matches. Superb.
Yeah, he has, especially since Lapas has been out injured. De Givenet has really stepped up and started to solidify his spot in that first team.
Oh, he's unbelievable, Mal, isn't he? I mean, that ball, he lost his ball. He lost that ball in our 18-yard box. And you thought, oh, no, it's an error. They're going to score. And no, we fought back for it, won't ball. And the curling ball, what he put down that line, as Andy says, that were fantastic. Just unreal ball. I thought, oh, it's going out for a throw-in. No, it didn't. It curled back in. Devante, wow, look what pace he had to get down there. He tried to take him out. We're thinking it's a foul. He nearly took Lino out. Lino helped him, pushed him back upfield. Lino got an assist in our second goal. And Andy says, Callum Styles, well, right place, right time. And it would have tapped him, wasn't it? And it was nice for second goal for third goal as well, wasn't it? And getting over his penalty. Seeing Max Watters assist front two us there again. Max Watters has had criticism, which he did at Leighton Orient, but he come on as sub and he got an assist with Devante and top goal scorer in League One, 10 goals now. What can you say? The lad's on fire, and he got man at match, didn't he? So
tell you what, Al, the only thing that we're missing from the second goal was he puts it down wing. We needed Kenneth Wolstenholme shouting, they think it's all over. Devante taking it on, crossing it. Callum smacks it in. It is now.
Well, on 23 minutes, when that second went in, I'm doing this with my hands. Ult it 4-0. I'm thinking it's on here. It's on here. But no, Tracy got a 3-0. So
She did.
Shucks. But I was positive.
I did say we'll have you down for 1 point, Al, and I weren't wrong. I think you got the same amount of points as me, and I were further away than you. Craig, I think obviously there's been a lot of praise for Devante, especially in that second goal. And obviously the cool and collectedness of that third, which I think is something which he thrives on. Them kind of positions where you don't really have to think about it too much. It's a one-touch finish is where he really shows his skill and ability. But that second goal, from how he got into that position to cross it in, it was nice to see him be able to carry it in that manner and be not slow about it or not make a mistake. Because there's been times in the past where he'd overrun it or take a touch too heavy and things like that.
Yeah, I think we said after the first couple of games we were saying how much his pace has improved, his speed. He seems to be a lot faster than last season. But he makes them runs all the time, but he don't always get seen. And Dejivine saw him, passed it straight through. And I'm surprised he passed it because he tried to take the penalty, but Herbie come and took the ball off him. And then when Herbie scored, his head went down, and then he thought, "Oh, I better go celebrate and give him a hug," even though he were like, "I would have still be top goal scorer in the league." So he deserved his goal because he put in a real good performance. And as you can see with that second goal, I think if I don't know who it was got tackled in first half when Dunkley got that yellow card, but if it weren't for Dunkley getting that yellow card, I don't think we'd have scored that second because he'd have took him clean out. Yeah. So I think everything just comprised at that moment for us to score then, obviously. And Styles, love to see him get a goal. I don't think he gets enough for the amount of positions he gets himself in. You know, I think he's a brilliant player. But on the issues I'm seeing though is nobody's nailing this right wing back position for me. I keep seeing O'Keefe come on, and then neither of them are performing. And for me, they're coming on, and then they're having really poor outings. Whoever starts, and the other one comes on, performs a little bit better, and then you're like, oh well, he's our guy, and then he's constantly changing them. I say as soon as Lapata's back ready, you get Jordan Williams back on that right wing back, because the other two aren't grabbing it with both hands. You know, O'Keefe were fantastic for the first few games. He's stopped running. He's just started just passing. He just passes it inwards or behind himself. He's stopped going forward as much.
Oh, Jordan, we're all over pitch. He wanted, lads. He were all over. If you look at Jordan, he wasn't just in back three. He were moving everywhere for me yesterday.
It's Jordan. I mean, he's my best player at club at minute, just because the years he's been here. He's been through everything with club, with owners, with players coming in and out, and he always churns out a performance. You know, he's never bad, he's never outstanding, but he's never in bottom three players who's played that day. So another issue I've got with yesterday's game, the atmosphere again, dead, absolutely dead. I could hear Shrewsbury fans more than I could hear his own fans. It's getting to the point now where it's like, what we're going to have to do to get an atmosphere. You know, I can watch it at home, and you know, and have same effect as I am good at game. It's something that needs addressing, I think, as we need to start loving his club again, because I feel like from what's happened with the ownership over the past few years, people are not bothered anymore. And we need to start falling in love with his club again and start singing again, because at the minute it's not like we're there for his club and we celebrate and we'll give a sing song and we'll shout players' names. But from you look at any club, Championship upwards, if they're home from the first minute they're singing up until last minute, unless they're losing dramatically. But for us, we need to be 2-0 up before we start singing, and it's I don't know, it's a bit depressing, really. You know, I'll take my daughter, and we want to have. I want her to get involved and get up on the chair and singing, but the club are not helping neither, because they want us to sit down. They want us to sit down and shut up. Whenever we do chant, somebody comes up to Tannoy saying what we're singing's wrong. It's like,
but you can't, there's certain things that you shouldn't sing.
I don't agree with it.
It's about getting fine, Craig, as well. I mean, it has got quiet, and I must admit, when you go away from home, it's constantly singing all game.
Yeah, like I say,
I think that's the same with most away fans, though. I think all away fans sing a lot when when they go to watch the team away. I agree with what you're saying, but you can't be doing sexist, misogynist, or homophobic chants. I couldn't hear any. I'm not sure what there was.
Well, I didn't hear
what the issue was. I didn't hear out. So
but
I'm not
just
really
watched
sure what that was
Vlogs video, and there's 120 Fleetwood fans, right? And they were out singing everybody at Medeski Stadium. I mean, they're going to come to us and they're going to show us up, because our fans aren't going to sing, you know. And I don't know. I just think you should support your team, and no matter how we've felt over the past few years about how clubs being run and what decisions that have been made, I don't think you should lay that at the door of the players, because they're the people that are suffering for it, because they become footballers due to the adulation of fans, hearing the name being sung, hearing the club they play for being praised from all stands. And at the minute, it's like playing in a graveyard. It's, you know, and I just think it's not inspiring as young fans to go anymore. You know,
they should be on Saturday, shouldn't they? Because it's a quick.
Well, yeah, I think because it was a Tuesday night game as well, weather wasn't great. That all that can be put into it as well. But it's just a recurring theme that I think people should speak about, because I'm not hearing anybody say out about it. And like I said, I'm not blaming any particular fans or anything like that. I just think that we've got to now start supporting the club, because let's get it real. This league at the minute, the teams that are in it, majority are pretty poor. And this is going to be our best season to get up automatically, because I think we're good enough. And I think we've shown we're good enough.
Last time, lads, we had a plus 16. We've got the biggest goal difference in league, plus 16. And last night, we had 11 shots on target, 11 shots on goal, and only 3 on target, and all 3 went in. Now, last season, we wouldn't have been as clinical as that, would we?
Well, that's it. This is what I'm saying. We've got a good game coming up against a team we should beat. So let's get that place rocking again. You know what I mean? Let's have that feel-good factor again. You know, we are the Reds. You come into Oakwell, you come into our fortress. You're not going to out singers. You're not going to out performers. You're not going to out workers. Just come on. You know what I mean?
I think there's a few things that go into it, isn't there? I mean, obviously it's Shrewsbury on a Tuesday night. Weather was terrible.
But it's not just one game though, Josh.
Oh no, I get that. I get that completely, and I agree. Especially for third in the league, I don't think there's a side that's got sort of. It's not a fortress. Like, you don't come to Oakwell and you're met by a wall of noise as soon as you come out the tunnel. You think, oh no, we're playing. It's just it's an inviting atmosphere for any team that comes, and I agree completely in that it's not that fortress. When you look at the sides in which we did play last season, who went up, Plymouth, Ipswich. Ipswich's following last season was mental, and you look at at Portman Road this season. Again, they're fantastically back this season. Off the back of that, it does seem strange in a way, because I agree with you. It's the players are the ones that suffer from it by the atmosphere not being there and having 10,000 people behind you. It's just 10,000 people watching.
Yeah, fans complain about the home form, but I think they really need to accept some culpability in that. We're not exactly making it hard for teams to come to Oakwell. They should not be able to hear themselves think, near mind, be able to play a football game without thinking, God, it's loud in here. You know what I mean? So that's just my thoughts.
From attendances yesterday, we had second best attendance in League One behind Derby. Derby had 24,040. We went next with 10,889. So, you know, in League One, we're up there with a bigger crowd, haven't we? So we've got to make an atmosphere. We've got to make it back to Oakwell like it was back in the last season with scarves and making a noise. And you know,
well,
biggie scarves and up in your gobs.
Well, I think the fans are backing the team. You know, they bought the season tickets. Well, you know, last season there's been a few hiccups. You know, we got rid of a lot of players, the spine, if you like, in the summer for various reasons, and everybody were a bit after the euphoria of Wembley and then the upset of Wembley. I think everybody felt that the duck had been knocked back a bit when some of the players were going and we were bringing players in that we weren't sure. Well, I think those players are starting to prove themselves. You know, we're third, like you said, we're third. I don't think, and I know I'm wearing it, I don't think that the Fanatics debacle has and continued debacle has helped foster the foster the relationship between the club, the board, if you like, the club and the supporters. Because, you know, look at your two. I mean, Josh always wears his Odin because he's a tight-fisted sod. But your two,
2015, this one.
See, your two always have a new kit, and you haven't got one because you cancelled it because
I bought all three last year.
Yeah,
and I bought the red one.
I've gone behind me. I've gone for training talk with Red all over on. I've gone for that one.
People can't just go into the shop and say, "Oh, like that and I like that." There's hardly out there. It's well, I'm not going to keep going about it for another show, but it's a shambles, and that creates a problem between fans and the club. Because if you can't, you know, if you want people to get behind you as a club, at least if they want to, at least let them buy a flipping shirt without saying your customer's important to us, or we're cancelling your order. You know, it's just, I don't think that's helped at all. But I appreciate what you're saying, Craig. I think
we did sing last night, though, Craig, didn't we? We've won a pen. We've won a pen.
That one first.
We did sing.
That's what I mean. It took to get a penalty for us to actually sing. So, but yeah, I completely get what you say, Andy. It just seems like too many decisions are affecting the fans in the stadium, on the pitch. It just needs to get sorted out. It really does.
It does. I mean, I can remember last year we went to a number of us went, well, three of us anyway, went to a meeting, didn't we? As you know, us content creators. Never been called a content creator in my life before, Josh, but it would appear
influencer.
A social media influencer. Mm-hmm. It makes a difference from being makes a difference from being a clown. But we went to that, and Jean quite nicely said, "What can we do to encourage more fans to?" And there were a few suggestions. Chicken flatbread weren't one of them, but they are lovely. Not that some of you know.
Oh, you keep telling us that.
That reminds me of that. Did you try out what the kiosk in the East Stand yesterday?
I didn't try it yesterday. No, I didn't try it yesterday.
So is it Pontian that I left out?
I had my tea before.
You think West End gets all this, Craig, do you?
No.
They even got proper toilets. Although I have to say, against Portsmouth last year, when we all had to go into West Stand because they closed the beloved East Stand, me and my son did go to the out of nostalgia, went to the outside toilets and stood in it again. You know, as a nostalgic moment, Al. Nostalgic moment.
It's better than going when we used to go behind.
It was just as bad as I remember it, Al. It was as bad as I remember, Al. That's all I'm saying. I'm glad I ain't got long trousers on.
Times have changed.
I'll tell you that much. But...
We've moved on.
Thank God. So, yeah, anyway, we're third, aren't we? We're third. What more do you want?
Exactly. Second. Craig, man of the match from yesterday. Are you going for a new official that was given to male Division A? Did you have an A? Sorry.
I thought it went to Devante.
Oh, did
To
it?
show you. Oh, I don't know.
I saw a few
Devante.
graphics come up yesterday on Twitter. I didn't know.
It went to
football club,
Devante.
Oh, Devante.
And I'd agree. I think he performed better than he has in the past couple of games. I don't think it's for lack of trying. But yeah, yesterday he was the difference maker. And Mael, yet again, very close second.
I agree with that. Al, what about you?
For only mistake he made, I'm going to give it to Mal for that pass. Diggs he's solid. He does everything right. He distributes ball well. What?
Oh,
Just why you say his name, it's just funny.
Don't be drawn out. Don't be drawn.
Come on, Mel, does your vignette? Come on.
it's a shame you didn't say that first time.
I think me and Josh just got that exact same minute.
It's not out. Don't be drawn out.
Smithy didn't make a blunder. Come on. Outtakes. Come on. We can make money out of this.
So you're going for number 6 now. I'll get to number 6.
Is that what he is?
He's number
MDG.
6. MDG. Andy, what about you?
Well, we're a toss-up, lad, between the two you've already talked about. It's like World Cup final in '66. Who do you get man at match to? Jeff Hurst for scoring his hat-trick, or to Bobby Moore for being the best player on the planet at the time? So Bobby Moore for me, captain or whatever. It would be a close thing. I mean, Devante, brilliant run down the corner, didn't get taken out, took it past him like a gazelle and put a perfect pass through. And then, of course, he gets ball, turns 1-2 for second goal with Max Watters and slots it in. So it's hard not to gate him. And I'd gate him, but Mal, blimey heck, an absolutely monumental defensive performance. Absolutely incredible.
Where he's come from his first game and to where he is now, he's just solid. I mean,
glass in a glass, Al.
I mean, however they found him, credit to recruitment team for me on that one.
I'm looking at stats when he first signed from the team he was at, and there were nothing really. I mean, he were good, he were competent, he were combative, but his stats didn't show this passing range he's got. So they must have really sent somebody out to see him, because from his stats you couldn't tell that his passing was this good, and he was this dominant as a centre back, because he never gets beat for pace. I don't really see him get beaten in air. Obviously, I just think he elevates our whole defence whenever he's been playing.
I'll make one suggestion.
What he did, I mean, how many defenders would have done that? How many defenders would have done that? It was quality what he did. He kicked it out for a throw him and just recovered, wouldn't they?
I'd have clipped it round corner like he did. Walked onto it and all. Devante once has to rectify. He'd have walked onto it.
Did Matt Roberts used to do that all the time? It always went up wing. Right wing all the time. Whenever he got ball.
Matt Roberts used to give me a migraine doing that.
Because he used to try and hope that his goal would get end, didn't he?
Exactly the same pass every single time. Just a nice long ball down line, and 8 times out of 10 it's going out for a goal kick. It was.
Yeah, that's it.
Let me give a suggestion for right wing back. Where I noticed last night in the second half, this might be interesting for you, Craig. If we're not going to put Jordan Williams there when the Patter's back and what have you, which, like you, I would. I noticed when Adam Phillips came on, he spent a lot of time out wide on the right, tackling and putting it down the line, tackling back. I think he could do a job there. I'd sooner him play there, because he's a really, really good player. And we're tending to use them as wide midfield players that can then get back, and he can do that. So if we, like Alan said, they've not, and you said that the other two at this moment have not cemented their place in the team. Sometimes they have a half decent game, sometimes a decent game, sometimes not so good. I would not be adverse to trying him there, because it's a waste in watching with the passing that he can do and the whipping in. God, we're not whipping balls in from the right-hand side. It's becoming very frustrating. They're getting blocked.
You've just reminded me of a couple of things, though, from the match that I forgot to write down. But we actually changed formation for this game. We went with a single striker, 2 behind, more wider, which helped us press in. And like you say, we did it with Callum Styles a couple of seasons ago. Yeah. When we didn't have a left wing back, he went left wing back, so it could work. Adam Phillips could work on the right hand side. Also, we completed only 2 of our 13 crosses yesterday.
Yeah,
that is abysmal. To say we've got somebody like Cadden who can whip a ball in on a sixpence, I mean, that's really bad. But yeah, I completely agree.
Just a question on that: who's he aiming to though? There,
he's going front post, but we've never got anybody front post. I don't know what it is. Whenever Cosgrove don't play, he don't put it in air. I think it's culpable on both sides. I don't think they work on it. They need to work on it. You need one guy running front post, one guy running back post. They all seem to just stand in the middle and wait for a cutback. That never comes because Cadden likes to put it in between the last line of defence and the goalkeeper. But nobody runs in that gap.
Nothing was coming in from the right. Very little came in from the right.
Nothing coming in from right because Barry Cotter runs too fast with ball and ends up having to turn around. Or he ends up doing a skill move, taking it past one guy and then losing it to the second guy. And O'Keefe, I just don't think he attempts it enough. I think he's either been told to that by the way we play that we don't want to cross it in and we want to try and pass it in, or he's lost confidence in crossing or something. I don't know. He should try it more because the cross we have seen him put in were a beauty. So
get the magician out there. That would be my view.
I don't think it's a bad shout, to be honest. Because
I'm not. I'm little grey matter, Al. Little grey
cells.
Sorry,
but the amount of times a wing back will get it boxed as well, he could come in handy.
Remember who whips the best crosses in from the right? Phillips. He can whip a beautiful cross in.
I mean, look at how many times Jordan Williams won in opposition's 18-yard box last season. He spent as much time in their box as he did ours. So I do think it needs to be. I think Phillips is almost a nice hybrid of both. He can play inside as well in the middle. So if he needs to come and occupy that space, he can do. Create space for right centre half Jordan Williams to go and occupy his position and send whoever the midfield that's meant to be in there, send them further forward. It makes sense. I'll pass that one on to Neil Collins, and I like that one.
Clip it. Send it.
I'm sure.
Get it on
from
Twitter,
behind the dugout.
Trending worldwide.
Going on Saturday, are you, Josh? You said behind the dugout. Behind the dugout, you can shout at him, but you're away, aren't you?
Yeah, I'll just next game I'll just keep making digs over. I want to done that, Neil. They brought Phillips on me, Neil. I'm not sure about that.
Wait there for a bit, will he? Because he won't be there for a cup match on Friday night now, will you, Josh?
No, I don't do weekdays. I am as part-time as it gets. Saturdays only. And even them knows that time I'm about 5 minutes late anyway to kick off.
What happened to Joe Beardsley, Alan? That's what I want to know now. At least he was there, Al, weren't he? At least he come.
Right, I think that just about wraps up the Shrewsbury game. So let's look forward to Fleetwood this Saturday. So, Fleetwood Town, I'll get the quick stat sheet up now. So manager Lee Johnson, someone we all know quite well from his time managing us, just left Hibernian, if I'm right, a month or two ago, and moved to Fleetwood. Top scorer, Jack Marriott with 3, so not a prolific side which we're playing. Sat 22nd in the league. Form again patchy, 3 wins, 2 losses over the last 5. Seems like since Lee Johnson's come in, there's been a slight change in formation. It seems like they settled on 4-4-1-1, but that does fluctuate, and they've conceded 20 goals in 13 games so far, so not exactly the safest defence to be against. I think they've only scored 10, right? So yeah, shipping twice as many goals as they're scoring. So Craig, how do you feel about going up against Fleetwood, and especially as former manager of Lee Johnson?
Happy. I think it's a shoo-in for a game, to be fair. I don't think they're particularly in a good place at the minute. I think that they're going to be riding on a high from the game they just won against Reading. But they're struggling to score. They've got a 28% shot on target ratio, which is basically like saying 1 in 4 shots goes on target, which is not good enough. Obviously, Lee Johnson coming back. But they have got some good players. They've got Jack Marriott, Jaden Stockley, Josh Vella, Josh Earl, Jay Lynch. And it's stalwarts in this league that have been really good and maybe in Championship as well. But there's something not clicking with them. But away is where they're currently getting all the points from. So it might be good. So, like I said, go back to atmosphere thing. Let's make it difficult for them. They're not going to enjoy coming all the way up to us and having to face third in the league, a team as prolific as ours. Because I think we could probably score. Oh, 1 minute, I went off. I think we could probably score a few goals against them and really not expect much back. Not with the way our defence is performing at the minute. And yeah, so I'm looking forward to it. Your mic's gone.
I'll talk instead then for a minute while he gets his mic going. Josh, we can't. Oh, he's
No,
back.
all right,
Josh
I'm
is
back. I'm back. The lights go
Oh.
off. Oh, there we go.
This is the
Flying
version. Well, this
That
is
Manchester
Simon
electricity. It's a bit dodgy over there, isn't it?
I was just going to say to you, Alan, that it didn't used to happen like that with Joe, but it did. Probably a lot more.
He's bold you that saying something, Andy, because you've definitely left by now.
Pay your bills.
Easy. Right, away from home, they're like Craig has said, they're not doing bad. The last 3 away games, they've won 2-0 at Cheltenham, then drew 3-3 at Wigan, and of course, like we know, last night they won 2-1 at Reading. And you've gone quiet again, Josh. So sort yourself out, and I'll stop talking.
He keeps putting mute on his mic.
No, I'm all right. I was talking to Georgie to sort out this light, but it's sorted.
And he's back. He's back in the room, Al.
Oh, he's back.
It's all right. I think he's in a discotheque, isn't he? You know?
I know. Look at him.
Look
And
at him. What's he doing?
oh, no, he's supposed to be
Is that the cat doing that?
he's supposed to be the young tech savvy guy, isn't he?
But if a battery dies, a battery dies. There's only so much I can do.
Charge it.
You were on full charge.
Oh, you need a new one then, mate. Sorry.
Correct.
Go on, then, Andy. What are you saying?
They're undefeated away from home the last 3 matches, 2 victories and a draw away from home. So it's not going to be as easy as when I first looked at the stats, and I thought it would be. So, Lee Johnson, I didn't mind. I think, we were just turning it round when, starting to turn it round when he went. But of course, Paul Hickinbottom took it stratospherically, flying up the league. Whether Lee would or not, I don't know. But he always puts himself about. And sometimes, though, Willie, I think he's got a tendency or a possibility of overthinking things too much. So I'm hoping he's going to overthink it a little bit and come unstuck. We need him to come unstuck. We need Fleetwood to come unstuck because, I'm not. They're a team that are quite pleased about and quite happy with, both them and Accrington and Stanley. But I've gone off them a little bit. I'm sorry if it upsets any Fleetwood fans. Gone off them a bit when they had Joey trying to escape and do a run.
Nappers.
Yeah. So what I'm surprised with last night, and there's all sorts of reasons why it could happen, is that Jaden Stockley were on the subs bench, and I always rated him, thought he were all right. And I tell you who I thought were their best player when they played us at their ground last year, didn't get on as Paul Rooney at right back. I thought he were brilliant at Highbury when we played him there last year, and he's not. He another one that were on the bench. So whoever's playing at right back, and I can't remember the kid's name, to be honest.
I think it's Lowell,
something like that. Yeah.
Yeah, he scored a screamer against Reading. Left-footed too.
In my personal view, he must be some player to keep Paul Rooney out. So it's going to be a. I think they're starting to come all right. Coming all right. It's the home form, not the away form, that's the problem for them. Really bad home form. But maybe
like
you'll start getting that right. We're improving. We're starting to win at home, and if we can win on Saturday, we'll turn it round, and people will be, me anyway, will be a bit happier. It was nice to see us playing in a red kit last night,
Yeah, as opposed to having to wear
Skins.
one of the away shirts for once. Al, what's your thoughts on coming up against Fleetwood?
Well, the 22nd in league, aren't they? So when we usually play against bottom in the past, when we play at bottom league sides, we usually play to their level, don't we? So we've got to come out at blocks and play at our tempo and our level. I think it's another winnable game. It'd be nice to get 2 wins on the bounce at Oakwell and keep momentum going. So I'm confident. I'm assuming Phillips will come in for Styles as a straight swap. And I think keep it same. I can't see him changing much unless he fetch other wing back in, young lad Owen Dodgson. So we'll have to see what he does if he does change it. I mean, he made 3 changes last night, didn't he? So there might be some changes afoot, but who knows? And we've got striker back, haven't we, again? Cosgrove. He's back on Saturday.
Yeah, I think
I will give one more stat as well. They've had 3 red cards in the last 5 games. So I don't know if that's Lee Johnson's doing, but they've had 5 all season.
That's a side after my heart.
So I reckon there's going to be a few tasty tackles, going in on Saturday too. So
that is
if Houghton Oakwell will like a good tackle, so you know what I mean.
Yeah, I
don't sound like the shrinking violets, does it?
It's like they're going back to the old days when they had a certain manager in charge.
Yeah, we need to get stuck in from first whistle. We showed what happened at Cambridge when we got under and got straight at them. It's just the same. And if they use any dark arts, I don't think Lee uses as many dark arts as Joey did, but so many red cards suggests otherwise, Craig, doesn't it? So who knows? Could be.
And don't forget they had a former Sheffield Wednesday player in there, and Ben Hennigan were playing at Sheffield Wednesday last season. So if there's a little bit more you need to get you up for game, he'll be starting centre back. Lay it on him.
It's going to be interesting, isn't it? Do you want me to tell you about the? Are we finished about that? Do you want me to tell you about the predictions and what have you?
Yep, you do whatever you want, Andy.
I'll not do a prediction. I'll put a prediction table up on the thing after the Fleetwood match, because that's a few games in. But we had 81 predictions for last night's match. 1 for a defeat, 2 for a draw, and 78 for a Barnsley win. So we're still positive, despite playing at home and thinking, "Oh, we're good." But what I would say is there are a few people like Alan who would have been desperately shouting for a 4th goal to go in, absolutely desperate for a 4th goal. And I think my personal view is there'd be a few people who are hoping that Shrewsbury would score with last kick at match to make it 3-1, because there are a few people who have done that. But after there were eight that got the 3-0 thing, which I thought were quite a bit. Tracy got it. Tracy Martin got it. That's one. Gary, I call Gary. Peter Waddle. Peter Waddle, he got it. Marley Clinton. Nice one, Marley. Jamie Rushforth. There's 2 Rushforths. Jamie Rushforth. Keith Haig. Michael Hodgson. Talked to him before, and he's a smashing lad. And last but definitely not least, our winner chicken dinner this weekend, Andy Laycock. He's got 3 points. I think he's trying to win next mini competition.
He's doubling up on it now, isn't he?
He's trying. I think Tony only got the 1 point, so I think Andy's got his gander up, having got into executive. But I think his gander's well and truly up. He's there after Top Shop, not coming second.
And what about Thomas Webster? Did he?
I've got to tell you that. I've got to tell you about Thomas Webster. Our Thomas, our whatever you want to call him, our chairman, president, financial wizard.
Them first 2 were a little bit too high for him. Let's bring him back down a touch. Chairman and president.
Well,
I was thinking more like class jester or
soft lad that puts his hand in his pocket, that sorts out checks. That will call. Well, you'll think he's a soft lad because he's had a few other predictions it passed. Often 3-0. He's had 3-0 for the last 6 predictions. And he's chelped and chelped leading up to this one, saying, "You watch, if I put something different, I ought to go 3. But it's never going to be 3-0. It's never 3-0. What's the point in me continuing putting 3-0? Put it for the last 6 matches. You think, well, why are you putting it 3? If you think there's no point, why are you doing it? Why are you doing it, Tom? So what did he do? He changes it to 2-1, and it's 3-0. I'd like to say it's a wrong un, but it's just a game out of step. If it were a last game, it'd have been all right. It's just out of step with the rest of it. That's all.
I think it's selfish on his behalf for not changing it sooner.
So
He wants to stop at
winning.
2. Wants to stop at 2-1, so it'll keep being 3-0.
Pays off. Consistency pays off.
It does. It does, Al.
Bless him.
It didn't last year for me, Al. I kept going for 2-1 last year, Alan, and it didn't help at all.
Speaking of predictions, what are we thinking then, Craig? We'll let you go first.
Yeah, I think it's going to be tasty, and I think there's going to be goals. I think.
And now you don't get this level of analysis anywhere else. There's going to be goals.
Do you know how seriously I take this stuff? I look at previous results. I look at complete goal. I look at every little stat you can think on.
There's a reason why you're in front of me then, because I just pick it about 3 seconds before.
Craig, do you do like people do with racing? Do you study what ground's going to be like and all? What the
No.
like?
I'm not that. No.
Have a look at groundsman if he's watered it enough on the left-hand side this week or not.
He didn't last night though, did he? At half time, I was thinking, you watch it, and he didn't. He didn't.
Yeah,
anyway.
I'm going to say 3-1. I think to us. I think we'll have a bit too much for them.
Nice. That's going to influence my decision now. After find out how you do it, Craig. Al, what about you?
Oh, it's got to be a Tom Webster special, isn't it? 3-0.
I hope Tom don't go for 3-0.
He is. You know he is. And it's going to be 2-1.
Andy?
Well, I was going to go back to my usual 2-1 because I think that would have been a reasonable thing. But now Tom Webster's gone and spoiled it, going 2-1, and there's, he's put the hex. There's no hex on it. There's no way it's going to be 2-1. So I'm going to have to go 2-1.
Yep, that makes sense.
Typical Andy Simcox thinking right there.
Yeah. So I saw it coming a mile off. We've done too many of these shows now.
Yeah, that's it.
That's right.
I think I'm going to go. I'll go 2-0. I'll go 2-0. I'll go in. I'll find gap between you lot. One of us will be right, hopefully. And if not, then probably got no points and we've lost. Right. I think that just about rounds it all up, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think so.
No else mention. Lovely. Right, so we will be back with a reaction show on Sunday morning. At some point, hopefully it'll be out by Sunday morning. We'll record it early anyway. And then, keep in and always like, subscribe, get your predictions down in the comments below. Because even if this is your first time predicting, you'll probably still be in with a chance of winning the mini competition. Because I assume leaders are on 4 points, maybe. Andy, roughly? No one on 6?
It's only a few games.
Yeah, we're only a few games in.
There's about 15 or 16 games, isn't it? Because it finishes on the 1st of, up to and including the 1st of January.
Yeah,
Plenty
which is
of
we're going to turn plenty of time if you haven't predicted yet. And you Reds.
Come on.